We are about to go touring car racing here at Macau. A very good morning to you. It is 11:26 in the morning on Grand Prix Day here at Macau. And we have two categories of touring cars for you today. We have the MGM Macau Touring Car Cup and China Touring Car Championship, and we have the gear race, of course, a little bit later on. Predominantly in both categories, we have TCR touring cars, but there are some that are not to the TCR specification. And we saw yesterday taking a race win, his 10th race win here at Macau, the master of Macau in a touring car, Rob Huff. Now, we're seeing the cars down on the grid. This is a reverse, the top 10 reversed from qualifying for the second race, the main race. It's not a longer race. It's still the same duration as we had yesterday. It's a 9-lap race, but we are seeing some familiar names here at Macau. Rodolfo Avila is one of those familiar names, and you'll see some familiar cars as well. Lincoln Co, of course, have been quite a feature of touring car racing in this region of the world, and they are very well represented by some very strong teams. One of them is the Shell Teamworks team, and David Dew, car number 9, had a little wave for the camera, had a good race yesterday and finished up second on the podium. That's the 71 car, which is next, and that's the Volkswagen, not a TCR car. The China driver, Jiang Tenyi, already in the car, ready to go. Now, keep an eye on this car. It will start 9th. It is 10-time Macau race winner, Rob Huff. At least we think it's 10. It's about 10. It's a lot. It's more than anyone. It's a very impressive number. And Rob did the business yesterday. He won and is always calm and relaxed ahead of a race, and he starts 9th on the grid. 17, that's the car of Yang Xiaowei in the Hyundai. Yep, there's plenty of Hyundais and Audis as well, as we've come to enjoy in TCR racing. And that is the number 11 car of Liu Chen in the 326 racing team, entered Audi. Going forward, 9 laps in prospects. Number 39, that's the car of Tian Qi in the QMA Motorsports Audi. Quick look into the car, and then over to the other side of the grid where Zhang Boufei in the Z Speed Hyundai. Sunshine, 26 degrees. It's a hot day, and that's why you can hear the air being circulated by the leaf blowers and the circulation inside the car of optimum performance. Speaking of optimum performance, Sonny Wong, who we just saw, had a great race yesterday. Made a mistake, owned up to it in qualifying, said I'll make up for it tomorrow being Saturday. And he did exactly that. Finished up on the podium, did Sonny Wong yesterday. A super, super race.
And he has won the Macau Touring Car Cup in the past, back in 2018. So there is number 51, the actor, comedian, rapper, model, musician, Chris Wu. And he drives for the 326 racing team. He came out of the Porsche Sport Challenge in China, but famous off-track as well as on.
Lu Wenhu in the VW, and the VW's not TCR cars to the China Touring Car Championship spec. Number 22 car is Liao Yang, the ZZRT Audi, and 37 is Zhou Haowen in the Z-Speed Audi.
So we've lost actually from yesterday's race, because I think the car was damaged from memory. Lin Chenhua's Audi that went off, didn't it, sort of midway through the race and picked up some damage. So that car is absent. The grid is based on qualifying times, but with the top 10 reversed, and that is why you have got on pole position Gao Yang from Zhang Zhendong, who's got to start as a favourite for this race, I would have thought. Very, very quick yesterday in the MG. Then Martin Tao and Zhang Yan on the second row. There is Rodolfo Avila lining up with Zhang Xizhang, the double gear race winner for company. David Chu, and then a car that missed the first race, in fact, didn't start out to dramas on the grid. Zhang Tengyi starting 8th. 9th on the grid is Rob Huff, and 10th is Yang Zhaowei ahead of Lao Zhishen, and then Tian Kai. Zhang Bo Fei has Sunny Wong for company ahead of Xi Jinjie, and then Wu Yifan. There is Lu Wenhu and Peter Lau on the 11th row of the grid, and then to complete it, sorry, on the 9th row of the grid, and then to complete it, Zhou Hao Wen at the very back. So as I say, we are down by one car from yesterday, but we gain that Volkswagen of number 71, Jiang Tangyi, that missed yesterday's race. It was at the front of the grid, but then had a problem, didn't get away, and it's good to have it on the grid now, and hopefully we'll see the best of that. It's going to be really interesting, this, to see who can make progress on this semi-reversed grid. And it also makes one wonder exactly what the drivers were aiming for in qualifying. Was it for an outright top time, or was it for something that's going to get you near the front for both races, or at the absolute front for this one, which is, yes, okay, a point-scoring round of China touring cars, as yesterday's was, but it does have the kudos of the MGM Macau Touring Car Cup.
Over 9 laps of the gear circuit, time for predictions. Where can the 10-time race winner here at Macau, Rob Huff, get to by the end of 9 laps from his position on the grid? So many factors are going to come into play. Is this going to be a race which is interrupted? Is it going to be like the GT race that we just enjoyed, which almost went to full distance without any kind of interruption, safety car, red flag or otherwise, which is a rarity here at Macau, and when it happens, it's a joy to behold. 11:33 local time here in Macau, so it looks as if we are on the final countdown now. 3 minutes until we get the formation lap underway.
What's your answer then?
Well, the question was rhetorical because I find it too difficult.
Right.
But okay, podium.
Yes. If the question was how far up can we get him, he can win this race, I reckon, but I suspect second, and I'm going to offer you Zhang Xizhang as the race winner from the 3rd row.
It's going to be fascinating. We are assured of overtaking, and over 6.2 kilometres of the gear circuit at Macau. That is not the work of a moment. There aren't too many overtaking positions. There is one very obvious one. It's down at Lisboa. They are going very, very quick through Mandarin, and then on the run down towards Lisboa, it's the perfect overtaking opportunity. But, and we've seen it already today, there are opportunities to overtake elsewhere, particularly in the tight and twisty sections of the Macau circuit. In a touring car, you can squeeze through, but you have to be brave. Green flag is waved, off they go, and a great selection of cars, and very often we've seen the big entry and all the touring car attention on the gear race, and I think the interest has stepped up this year for the MGM Macau Touring Car Cup, the China Touring Car Cup, not just because it has attracted the likes of Rob Huff to the lineup for this weekend, but also it's a very, very strong entry in its own right.
Yeah, many of the drivers in this have raced in the TCR Asia Championship this year, but have now elected to come and take part in this race, the China Touring Car Championship doubleheader, and add Rob Huff into that. Again, we talk about the international GT drivers coming back. I know Rob was here 2 years ago, and now, as then, has had to go through a week of quarantine to take part in the race. So it's quite a task. You know, it's not just arrive and go racing. You've got a whole week of being through the quarantine process before you're allowed into normal life, and then of course to go racing. So it's a long visit for all of those international drivers. Rob, who was the winner within WTCR this year of the Independence Cup, and had to back out of this weekend's races in the Middle East because of budgetary constraints, but has found a very happy home and a very welcome home on track at Macau. And a win yesterday may well be mirrored by a victory today. If anybody can do it from the fifth row, Huffy is your man.
Okay, well, maybe then I'm going to retract what I said before, that it was a rhetorical question. Huffy for the win. There we go.
Right, okay. I don't doubt that he can do it. It just depends how quickly he gets through the traffic relative to Zhang Zhizhang in the number 19 Lincoln Co., the Shell Teamwork delivery car.
He was keen to tell us. He's been giving us regular updates after every time out on track. He's been texting through some details, and he was keen to say that as far as the engine is concerned, the VWs that are not TCR, they enjoy a little bit more brake horsepower. Was it 50 brake horsepower, I think he said, something like that. So it's not going to be the work of a moment to slice his way past 8 other cars. But as you quite rightly said, if anyone can around the gear circuit, Huffy can, Prio probably can. There have been a few stars of this particular circuit in a touring car, and Rob Huff is the master of Macau now. Previous to that, it was in a BMW, Andy Prio.
In his armoury, though, is the fact that he has raced at such a high level for so long around the world, whereas arguably he's up against people who are very, very good in this region. But whether it's here, whether it's in Europe, Rob Huff masters circuits, and I just think that because of his ability, he'll be able to make short work of the bulk of the opposition. But it depends how quickly Zhang Zhizhang gets through the traffic. He's, what, 2 rows further up the grid, because the double gear race winner last year and the year before is very much able to do it again now in this Macau Touring Car Cup, backed by MGM.
Right, important business going on now. Last opportunity to get as much heat into the tyres as they possibly can, and that's what's going on now. Widest part of the circuit, dual carriageway area. These roads are the roads of Macau, and they are even during the 4 days of the Macau Grand Prix. The circuit is a circuit from 6 a.m. in the morning until 6 p.m. in the evening, and overnight they are normal roads. Buses, taxis, motorcycles, scooters, cars, you name it, they're on this tarmac. And then the gates are closed 6 a.m. in the morning, and it becomes the magical gear circuit here at Macau. I also like that camera angle looking down on the grid as the front row comes into view. Gao Huayang, Zhang Dong, front row of the grid. Second row is complete. Third row coming into line as well. MGs look great. We've talked a bit about those over the course of 4 days here at Macau. Super livery, super looking car as well. And Rob Huff just bringing the 79 MG into place on the grid.
And those Geely-built Lincoln Co's taking on the might of the MG X-Power, the MG5s, and the Volkswagens around them. Right, get set for drama.
Green flag at the back of the grid. That means the engine notes will rise, they will pop, they will bang, the lights come on, and when they go out, we'll be racing at Macau. Very quick. And look at that start for the 27 car of Yang Chung. He's going to be in the lead by the time he is. So what a stealth start that was in the stealth all-black Lincoln Co. Very, very impressive that. Very quickly off the line, found the gap, and is now going to have to relinquish the lead back to the number 58 car that started on pole, but very quick off the line.
But a wasted start completely by the MG of Zhang Zhundong that did not get away. Everybody managed to dodge around him, as you saw, and as the leaders come down towards Lisboa for the first time, then it is Gao Huayang in the lead of the race. Then back to the outside line there dives number 20 of Rodolfo Avila, deep into Lisboa, and 1 or 2 slither out wide, but Rob Huff is gaining ground on the inside. Everybody safely out of Lisboa for the first time, and now the run up the hill. So what progress of Rob Huff? He's up the inside line, picking them off one by one, and out of the race already, sad to say, is Lu Zul Chan. That car pushed through the barrier out of the race.
Yeah, and Rob could have been 5th as they went around Lisboa, but he was on the wide line, he was on the outside line. Then he had to avoid the barrier, which is oh so close on the exit. He looks to be in 5th place now. Is he 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? So 6th for Rob Huff from 9th on the grid. That's not bad. That's good work.
That's all right. But 4th is the real danger in this. Zhang in the Lincoln Co. Number 19 as the cars thread their way then for the first time in this 9-lap race with Gao Huayang in the lead of the race and getting away now. That Volkswagen building the gap, which is important. Whoops, he's almost in the wall. He's got it all wrong. Understeers out wide, survives it.
What a save.
Oh, that was very, very close, and it's brought everybody else right back onto his tail, but that could have spelled disaster.
That was very lucky indeed. The leader having a problem at a corner that catches them out year after year after year, particularly in touring cars. I remember some years ago, I think he caught out Gordon Shedden, vastly experienced, 3-time champion in the BTCC, gets caught out at the Macau circuit. There we go. They are in one long line now as they all close up after that problem. That's good. We don't want anyone to have a bit of a lead at the end of lap 1 for a touring car race. Whatever next.
Well, it's going to stretch a touch, isn't it? Because Gao Huayang, using the extra power of the Volkswagen, comes then now out of Fisherman's Bend along the short straight towards the R bend and is the leading 4, breaking away a little bit then as they come down towards the completion of lap 1 of 9. And right now, I reckon there's a little bit of teamwork going on through the Shell Teamwork Lincoln Co's, because have a look behind number 19 of Zhang. There is David Zhu between him and Rob Huff, and David Zhu, look, is dropping back away from the team leader and keeping Huff at bay. Whoops, drama in the background. There's another of the Lincoln Co's in the wall. Is that Sunny Wong possibly that's got it wrong? I think it might have been. So in the wall, it is a car with lots of frontal damage. I think it was Sunny Wong. Right, now Huff to the outside line of David Zhu, down towards Lisboa. Zhang round the outside of Avila for 3rd. That's a really good move, and Huff has not been able to make it work.
Oh, but it gets it tight on the exit of Lisboa, which gives the advantage going into San Francisco. And I've seen on this section of the circuit Huff being very, very brave in the past, but that is a very damaged Lincoln Co. Oh dear, Sunny Wong made a mistake in qualifying, owned up to it in the evening on social media and said, I'll make up for it tomorrow. He did. He was spectacular yesterday. Today, unfortunately, that is the result. Oh, it's a bit busy, isn't it? That's coming up San Francisco Hill. They all get going, so that could have been a lot worse than it was. The 51 car at the front of the field, which is the one that had the first of the problems. That's Wui Fan.
Yeah, Chris Wu, the model, the actor, the rapper, the singer, you name it, multifaceted. Safety car deployed by the look of it. So with Sunny Wong's car stranded on the circuit, the safety car comes out. Yesterday they were exemplary. Today, a bit more leery.
It's Grand Prix day.
Oh, that'll be it.
that might well be the reason. And we have had in recent years some fairly bruising touring car races, that's for sure, around the streets of Macau. And this is not going to be the work of the moment for Rob Huff, is it? David Zhu was 2nd yesterday, the Lincoln Co going very, very well. And he's not going to be an easy nut to crack. But that was a really good idea from Rob. The outside line slots in behind, nice and tight through Lisboa. Maybe give you the chance going up San Francisco Hill.
Yeah, Rob's not afraid to attack, is he? And a replay here of what happened to Sunny Wong. He tried to go around the outside of the Audi. I think that was all self-induced, but he just got on the marbles, lost traction, and that was a hard hit, headbutt to the wall. But as you say, it's quite a broken car.
It is, unfortunately. So Sunny Wong's car requiring recovery. There is a very lucky driver at the front of the field. This could be a very different story if things had gone differently up at police on the previous lap for Gao Huayang. Got away with it. All that happened was Yan Chang was able to close up. As a result of that, we had one long train, all heading around the circuit.
But it'll be interesting to see what he does on the restart, because tyre temperatures and pressures will have dropped, so the car might not be as he expects it to respond. He might be in strife again. And this is what happened in the incident. So Chris Wu got a bit of a helping hand there from the Volkswagen that turned him around coming towards San Francisco Hill, and they all had to sort themselves out. The car of Sunny Wong still needing to be retrieved, and a jump start penalty being given to the man in second place, Yan Chang. 20 seconds penalty for a jump start.
It was a really good start, wasn't it? And now judged not to be that good.
Too good, yeah. And also being given a penalty is Zhang Zhendong's MG for a jump start. Well, I don't know how that's jumped it because it didn't move. That was the one that was stationary at the front of the grid. So how that can be given a penalty unless it crept and stopped. I didn't even see it move an inch.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. The car crept.
Anyway, penalty has been given, but he is down in 16th place because of completely missing the start.
So the car in second place has a 20-second penalty. And that is going to play into the hands of any cars that are looking to make up places, namely the 79 MG of Rob Huff as they thread their way under safety car control through Lisboa up towards San Francisco Hill. That's quite a big penalty, isn't it? 20 seconds.
It is. It is. Interesting that there are differing time penalties being applied for the jump starts, 20 for the car in second place and 10 for the MG. So it is, as you rightly say, a very, very big penalty indeed. And we still await Sunny Wong's car to be moved from the circuit, and then we can get the race back in business. All of these laps counting within the 9. That is the duration of this MGM Macau Touring Car Cup.
So, under the control of the safety car, marshals indicating with the yellow flags right the way around the circuit, we are under safety car control. And it's Gao Hua Yang in the 58 car that leads. But with a little bit of luck, I think it's fair to say, after a moment at pace. So, a sunny day here at Macau, as inevitably it will be. High humidity, hard work inside the touring cars, and this is the point at which the drivers often say this is where you feel the heat. When you're going slowly, that's when the temperatures inside the car, 60 degrees, anywhere around that sort of temperature. For you and I, it would be impossible to do probably any physical or mental task, but they are incredibly fit and able to cope and race around the gear circuit with mental dexterity, which always surprises me. Incredible, absolutely incredible. Some racing drivers to get used to the kind of heat they train maybe on a bike at home, an exercise bike at home, with heaters on in the room, a number of heaters on in the room to try and replicate the kind of temperatures that they'll be dealing with when they're inside a car. Towards the Macau hairpin, under the control of the Lamborghini safety car. It's a great class of safety cars. Leads the hill down. They're going to be completing 3 laps at the end of this lap. It's a 9-lap race. Narrow part of the circuit, but you can just about start to weave the car for the temperature in the tyres, and then the circuit opens out, gets much wider, and you can do a much more aggressive weaving of the car from now on. Exactly what Gao Hua Yang is doing now. So yeah, potentially we could have another 2 laps behind the safety car. They are now at the stage that they can put Sunny Wong's Lincoln Co onto the little dollies, and it could be pushed, but well, maybe just 1 more lap, potentially 2.
Yeah, it depends where the nearest access point is, really, doesn't it, to where they need to push it to. Leaders come across the line, no change in the order, of course. You can't overtake while the safety car is out, so you've got Gao Hua Yang in the lead of the race from the now penalised Yan Chang in second spot, and Zhang Zhang for Lincoln Co in 3rd place, still a potential winner of this. And teammate Sunny Wong out of the race. So there's the broken Link & Co. Everybody drives past.
And the fluid, which has been
Yeah.
dressed as well as a result of that.
And where's the nearest point that they can get the car out of the way at? The gap in the barrier
Seemingly there, yeah. So they can manipulate the car pretty well once it's up onto those little corner dollies, one on each corner of the car. Irrespective of the state of the suspension, you can move a car pretty easily with a bit of marshal power, and there's no lack of marshal power at the Macau Grand Prix.
It's not in that bit of barrier, it's still being pushed.
No, it is, yeah.
And now Crane, or at least the rope from
Aha.
the crane, lowers
They can push it to the crane.
as if by magic. Yeah. So put it underneath, and then hopefully it can be whisked over the barrier. We've had into the pit lane the Diesel Chen Audi that got involved in a drama earlier on, and fingers crossed we might be able to go racing by the end of this lap as the cars now come down to Lisboa.
It's looking quite positive, isn't it?
Yeah.
The car being able to be lifted, that's so much quicker, isn't it, when they can get the car to one of the many, many cranes around the circuit.
Whoops!
Oh, that's not meant to happen behind the safety car, is it?
You're not wrong. So, got away with that, but that tends to go down really badly in race control if you start to see people do things like that under the safety car. Under normal circumstances, that would be a team manager of car ... to race control immediately, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah, not required when running under the control of the safety car. Is that cold tyres?
It's an element of cold tyres. It's an element of drivers not paying attention, really, and not driving at a correct pace that's put them in jeopardy like that as they come through the corner and accelerating a little bit too
Abruptly.
viciously. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, that was a pretty light result, but it could have been into the barrier and delay the safety car period yet further. So to do something like that under the safety car really is on.
So, the world-famous Macau circuit and touring car racing very often gives us these safety car interventions for the recovery of a car. This time, it was a hero from yesterday, Sonny Wong. Absolutely brilliant yesterday. Today, unfortunately, ends the race being lifted unceremoniously off the track in order to get the race back underway.
And it will be this time safety car in at the end of the lap, so
Good
we
news.
are good to go racing. And so Gao Huayang leads the pack from Yan Chang, but don't forget he's got this 20-second penalty. So Zhang Zhijiang in third on the road is really second, but of course he needs to get past the black Link & Co. as soon as he can in order to really challenge for the race lead.
And I guess he'll know about that penalty through the various screens that are dotted around the circuit. They are able to we saw it covering the meatball flag, the mechanical warning flag, the other day, didn't we, in free practice.
And the team should be able to tell him as well. So the team will have seen the message line, be able to relay that to the drivers. So they come out of the Melco hairpin, down through Black Sands, approaching Fisherman's Bend, and then down to R Bend, where they will see a green flag to get racing back underway at the start of lap 5.
So, drama already in our 9-lap second race of the weekend for the MGM Macau Touring Car Cup China Touring Car Championship cars, and the Lamborghini safety car will pull off into pit lane and will be racing again. So this is really important what Gao Huayang is doing now to try and generate as much temperature as possible in those tyres. What's Rob Huff doing? He hasn't got the space to do it, has he? He can't weave the car at the moment. Here we go. We get racing back underway for the MGM Macau Touring Car Cup. And it's going to be the run down to Lisboa, which is going to be fun to watch. Once again, statement of intent from Rob Huff on David Zhu as they head down towards, just that flag in the background warning people, of course, that fluid has been dressed on the circuit. A flash of the lights from number 19, just to indicate the car that has a 20-second penalty is about to lose a place on track as well. And you rather predicted that Zhang Jichang would be going well. One place made up. And
so for Rob Huff, he's got past David Zhu, so he's gained ground as well. So one up for Zhang Jichang, one up for Huffy. So they go second and fifth now. And the next target, therefore, for Rob Huff as he creeps up the order. But there you can see the race leader getting away, Gao Haiyang. But behind him is the charging Zhang Jichang. So, whoops, problems also there this time for Tian Kai. That's down at Lisboa. He's up the escape road. He'll get the car back in the right direction and charge along, but time is wasted. Right, so the double gear winner last year, the year before, Zhang Jichang, clear road ahead of him for the moment. He's able to push on. Remember, he out-qualifies a car that he is chasing, so he's got the speed, he's got the pace, but then you get to whether he's got the racecraft. Huff, in turn, has caught teammate Rodolfo Avila, so you've got the two MGs running together. This is going to be a really tasty fight between those two.
It really is, it's going to be one to savour this as they make their way through the tight and technical part of the circuit. They'll be going into police, where the leader got away with it on the opening lap and retained the lead of the race. But now it's an altogether different problem, because mirrors are very, very full of the Lincoln Co. of number 19, Zhang Jichang. And as they head up towards the Melco hairpin, the top two, with a bit of a gap before we've got this battle for third, fourth and fifth. And to be a bit of a muddle coming down the hill, because see just exactly how that's worked out. We've got a new race leader, so Zhang Jichang, and where is Gao?
He's behind the MGs, isn't he?
Yeah, certainly is. So back into fifth position. So I wouldn't mind seeing again exactly what that muddle was coming out of the Melco hairpin. Camera angle just cut away from the change for the lead as they come up to complete now 5 laps in the book. So 5 laps, new race leader Zhang Jichang in the number 19 Lincoln Co. Also with the fastest lap of the race on that lap, 2:38.338. Yeah, really means business. So too does Huffy. Goes through on the inside of the MG. How does he do that?
That's bravery, but it's also the momentum, and also about to have a go and do the same thing. Yes, is the recovering Volkswagen. Gao Haiyang also goes up then ahead of Rodolfo Avila, so he's lost 2 places in a corner and a bit. David Zhu catching up behind him as well. So that gives Huff third. It's going to be second on corrected times because the penalty, remember, to Yan Chang ahead of him. But he needs to clear the black Lincoln Co. and go after the driver I was suggesting might well be the race winner, Zhang Jichang. The safety car restart is under investigation, but in the meantime, Zhang Jichang leads the way, and we are currently on lap 6 of 9.
And Huffy is right on the tail of that Lincoln Co. and really does mean business now. Needs to do this as soon as is physically possible, because otherwise Zhang Jichang is going to be getting away, and that is the last thing that Rob Huff needs to be looking at. An ever-distant leader of the race, the red Lincoln Co. Yeah, Rob was having a look there, wasn't he? And it wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility that Rob would have a go. He is masterful around Macau. Wonderful to watch. Such an attacking driver. And on this section of the circuit, honestly, I don't know how he does it.
Much, much quicker than Yan Chang. Trying to apply the pressure, trying to make that half mistake come, so the door is ever so slightly ajar. But he's not going to be able to do it through this next section because he dropped back a length, although there is a little mistake. Chang locks up, heading into Donna Maria. He can't do it at the Melco hairpin, but he's positioning himself ready to strike the other side of the corner. So down they come into the braking zone, and Chang goes wide, but Huff can't take advantage yet.
How often do you see it that you're challenging that closely on that particular section of the circuit? Year after year, Huffy does this. So masterful around this circuit. The number 79 MG that you see closing on the back of the 27 car of Yan Chang. Out of the corner they come, and Huffy is going to be on his way. Jinx out from behind. Statement of intent there, and the two together as one. around the final turn to complete now. 6 laps are going into the book. 6 laps completed by the race leader. And meanwhile, Huffy needs to be looking in his mirrors as well, because the recovering Gao is right there.
Trouble is that the leader of the race is now 2.8 seconds ahead of Rob Huff, so even if he can clear Yan Chang, he's not going to have the time left, nor the pace necessarily, to catch the leader. So second, I think, is where Huffy is going to get to, which was a pre-race prediction. Coming back at the pair of them, though, look, is the recovering Gaohua Yang. To the outside line at Lisboa goes Huffy. Should be able to get the move done here. And the Volkswagen comes up to have a rather cheeky look at the Lincoln Co. as well. Huff goes second. Chang hangs on to third.
Yeah, certainly does. And, yeah, Huff on the approach to Lisboa. And look already how he's pulled away from the Lincoln Co. He knows that he has a limited amount of laps remaining to close the gap between the race leader. It is one thing to close the gap. It is another altogether to take the lead. And at the moment, the leader has the fastest lap of the race at 2:34.911. We're about to see some classic Huff on the last couple of laps here at Macau. And that is the pursuit of the race leader.
Okay, so the starting point, 2.8 seconds between those two. And the leader on lap number 7. So Huff charging along, but Zhang Zhang, fastest man in the race thus far, might lose that mantle on this lap now that Rob Huff's got clear track space ahead of him. Huff, winner of yesterday's race, comes down towards Police, turns right, heads up the hill. He can see the car that he's chasing, which always gives you that extra impetus. Goes up Moorish Hill, then now towards Donna Maria. And as the pair of them head towards the left-hander, there is a penalty being given now also to number 63, Nathan Liu, for overtaking under the safety car. So that is a 20-second penalty for Nathan Liu. The leader is down at the Melco hairpin, and the margin to the eye is coming down. Again, Yan Chang goes rather wide into the hairpin in the black Lincoln Co. in third base. So Huff on a mission with 2 laps to go, effectively.
Please, nothing happens to interrupt this race. This is going to be a classic last couple of laps of this race with Rob Huff, the multiple race winner here at Macau, a master of Macau, closing down on another race winner here at Macau, and that is Zhang Zhang, who has the fastest lap of the race. 6 laps are in the book. They're about to chalk up 7 laps in the book now. Inch perfect for Rob Huff out of the final turn, and I'll be interested to know. Yeah, it was 2:33.358. I just wondered if that lap was going to be a fastest lap for Rob Huff. It was, and that's in his pursuit of the race leader. The gap has come down to 1.5 seconds between the top two. They have 2 laps to go. 7 laps are complete. This is classic Macau.
You've also had a change for third place, as we've just been watching, in that Gaohua Yang is up into third then in the Volkswagen, and 4th and 5th also changing, because now look, Yan Chang in the black Lincoln Co. falling down the order. Up and past him has gone Zhang Teng Yi. Rodolfo Avila is through, and David Zhu tries to have a go, but there's contact, and Chang gets far towards the wall. There's damage also for David Zhu's Lincoln Co. And that brings into the mix now Martin Tao. They've just about got away with that, although the cars look a bit dog-eared. There are the leaders with 1.5 laps to go. The gap is down, and can Rob Huff get close enough so that he can attack coming out of our bend through the next sequence? And here's the incident. Look, David Zhu was being a little bit optimistic. He could see what was going on ahead of him. He thought, right, I'll commit to the gap on the inside. But he was never fully alongside, as Chang had to take the line for the corner.
And he'd already had contact, hadn't he, Chang, with the MG as well. Just a little bit of light contact on the approach to the right-hander at Lisboa. But this is the battle for the lead of the race. Look how the gap has come down. Huff is on a mission. He's got 1.5 laps to do something about the final few meters to close on the back of the leader. And wow, this is going to be a grandstand finish, isn't it? Rob Huff with the new fastest lap out of Police, and Moorish Hill into the left-hander at Donna Maria they go. And certainly I saw dust being kicked up. Was that a little lock-up by the race leader of Zhang Zhang?
Yes.
It was, right, okay, not dust then, a little bit of tyre smoke, and Rob Huff right on the boot lid of the leader as they head out of the Macau hairpin. The circuit opens up, they can apply the power now down through Black Sands, down towards Fisherman's Bend, the final turn on the lap, and with, at the end of this lap, 1 lap to go, this is a classic touring car race at Macau. Rob Huff, the multiple race winner, right on the tail of the leader as they come up towards the end of lap number 8 and go on to the final lap.
And the move for the race lead may come at Mandarin, but it starts here. This is where Huff has got to get the momentum. He's got to get the toe. Comes over the timing line. They dart left through Reservoir Bend. The margin as they went across the line was 3/10 with another fastest lap of the race set by Rob Huff, who now does dive to the inside into Mandarin, has a look, can't find a way through. If he can't get the job done, though, by Lisboa, it might not happen at all, and he'll know that as he's right up against the wall, hugging to the inside line there is Zhang Zhizhang, so he still leads the way. Rob Huff to the outside line. Good defence this by Zhang in the lead of the race. Huff tries to go perhaps now to the tighter line coming out of the corner, but that's covered off by the Lincoln Co as well.
Wow, what a battle between these two around San Francisco. Up San Francisco Hill they go then. Rob Huff right on the tail of Zhang as they head into the very tight and technical part of the circuit where Rob Huff is not afraid to make a move for a position. We've seen it before during this race. It's not easy, but Huffy knows how to do it, and I'll remind you of something that he said to me some years ago. If I finish the race with 2 wing mirrors, I haven't been trying hard enough. Well, if he's going to lose any of them, it's this part of the circuit where they really are put through the test, through the Solitude S's, and still in the same order. Wonder if Zhang has maybe fought off with a great defence, as you said, David, going through Lisboa and up towards San Francisco. He was good for the challenge from Huffy, wasn't he?
Indeed so, and I'm just looking at that MG as it gets right onto the back of the Lincoln Co. The 2 wing mirrors are absolutely intact, so I don't think Rob's trying hard enough. I mean, these fastest laps might be one thing, but come on, Rob, what are you doing? It is still the Lincoln Co. in the lead. It is still Zhang Zhizhang ahead, and Huffy running out of options, but again, applying the pressure. This time it's Rob that breaks late and goes deep into Donna Maria.
Yeah, he did. A little bit of a lock-up there from Rob Huff, and therefore he's dropped back. Was that the last opportunity as they come through into the no overtaking area at the Macau hairpin?
Last corner, full send.
So you think we'll wait and see as they come down through Black Sands, down towards Fisherman's they come. The gap to the eye is longer. Just that one little lockup has cost dearly for Rob Huff, because it's Zhang Zhizhang that comes around the corner and heads towards the completion of 9 laps of racing for the MGM Macau Touring Car Cup China Touring Car Championship. And what a race it has been. The win is going to go to Zhang Zhizhang, and he takes the checkered flag with the stricken number 71 car down there on the start-finish line. Second place goes to Rob Huff, but what a valiant effort from 9th on the grid. Super race and breathe.
And also, that is the reason perhaps that Rob backed out of it coming towards Fisherman's, because his opportunity to have a go into the last corner was being taken away by the yellow flags, because Jiang Teng Yi's Volkswagen expiring there on the timing line meant that was triggering yellow flags coming into the corner. He can't overtake. So really, there was no reason for Rob Huff to sit on the back of the Lincoln Co. because he couldn't find a way past because of the yellow flags, but he acknowledges the crowd. And you're right, it was a great battle between those two, and Rob had his win yesterday. Zhang Zhizhang, having won the gear race last year and in 2020, takes honours this year in the Touring Car Cup, and great to see the level at which those drivers were operating. So close.
Do you get the idea that the crowd might have rather enjoyed that?
I think you're right.
So, Rob Huff is a real star with the fans at Macau, and wave out the window to not only the fans but also the marshals as well. But let's take nothing away. It was superb defence on the penultimate lap by Zhang Zhizhang that assured the victory was going to go on this occasion to the Lincoln Co. But it wasn't for the want of trying by Rob Huff. What a super battle.
Well, that's a 3rd Macau win for Zhang Zhizhang, 2 in the gear race, and then this year in the Macau Touring Car Cup. So, OK, he's got a few wins yet before he can match the strike rate of RP Huff, but even so, he's somebody else that is getting a good track record at the gear circuit, and a great drive by Zhang Zhang in the Shell-backed Lincoln Co., the Geely Group brand. And talk about motorsport helping the image of a brand. Nobody knew what a Lincoln Co. was.
No.
I don't think people knew it was a car even, but they do now, thanks to motor racing.
That was quite superb. Brilliant race, and best touring car race for a while here at Macau. Very often they get interrupted a little bit too often to get into a flow, the kind of flow that we just enjoyed. And I was keeping my fingers crossed for the last 3 or 4 laps that they weren't interrupted. Zhang Zhang takes the win with the Shell Teamwork Lincoln Co. Racing TCR car. Rob Huff in second place in the MG, and in third place the car that started on pole position in the reverse grid race, partial reversed grid. Next down Yang.
Now, you're not meant to do silly things under the safety car. You're certainly not meant to spin after the race. That was Yang Xiao Wei losing his way.
And now it's all gone wrong because they're on the wrong line to get around the corner. So,
Mr. and Mrs. Cluster meet... ... So the cars... Stop it, Hot. Making their way down the pit road, and a great drive by Zhang Zhang. Rob Huff for second, and Gao Huayang taking third place at the end of the Macau Touring Car Cup, which, apart from that safety car period, seemed to be fine. Just the slowing down lap that seems to be the tricky bit for 1 or 2 of them. You back?
It might, yes, I am. It might be a while before we see everybody else, because there was a bit of a muddle up at the Melco hairpin, which will resolve itself. And we've got the podium drivers making their way into Parc Fermé now, and what stars they were during that second race of the weekend for the MGM Macau Touring Car Cup. Look at me, I've got a smile on my face. I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was superb. Absolutely superb.
It was. Great effort by both Zhang Zhang.
No, you're still connected. There we go.
Yes.
Disconnect.
That's it.
Now you can walk away.
Easy come, easy go.
And I dare say there'll be a couple of excitable words between those two. They raced beautifully together. Weigh the drivers first of all, and then the cars will be weighed.
Rob Huff strides over. Rob, did you win? Second.
Did you win? Oh.
Probably thought that was a safe question. So not today. Not today.
Second.
You know what the problem is? The mirrors are there.
Second at a great race. Yeah, it's hard work, isn't it? Very physical, that. And we'll have a podium shortly. And congratulations come for Zhang Zhang. Off comes the helmets. And face mask for the required podium wear. Off comes the helmet. They've not spoken yet, have they?
No.
Rob and Zhang Zhang. Rob will be going through the process of weighing and probably pouring a bit of water back into the body. That's going to have been pretty physical work, that. And now this lovely moment where they all get welcomed by the teams and the fans as well. Look at that. That's what it means. It means everything at Macau.
So points within the China Touring Car Championship. And although you were making the point in the race that you've got the Pucker TCR cars and the other spec, which is a category not too dissimilar to the NGTC style regulations of the British Touring Car Championship. It is a TCR car that comes out on top and honours then in TCR Asia as well as in the China Touring Car Championship this year for the Lincoln Co squad, taking the title.
That's quite a celebration. What a place to celebrate as well at Macau. And I'm sure the officials are very soon going to break up those celebrations and shepherd the drivers over to the podium. That's what's coming up next, the podium presentation. Before that, let's look back at the many highlights for the MGM Macau Touring Car Cup. There were multiple highlights during that race for the MGM Macau Touring Car Cup and China Touring Car Championship. The scene is set now for the podium presentation, and as the girls come out for either end of the podium, that indicates that we are just about ready to present the drivers to the crowd.
What are the mascots?
And the trophies as well. Oh, I don't know, I should know that, shouldn't I?
Our podium for the MGM Macau Touring Car Cup China Touring Car Championship. Third place driver, number 58, Guo Huayang. Congratulations.
Guo Huayang onto the third
Second
step
place
of the podium.
driver, number 79, Robert Peter Hoof.
And Rob Huff onto step number 2 of the podium.
Congratulations. And our winner, number 19, Zhang Jiqiang.
Zhang Jiqiang onto the top step of the podium with all the support from the team.
Congratulations. Now, may I please ask Mr. Nathan Carr, Vice President of Slots Operations of MGM, to present the trophy to our third place driver, Guo Huayang.
So the garlands and the trophy as well for third place.
May I have the honor to ask Mr. Peter Chen, Senior Vice President of VIP Marketing of MGM, to present the trophy to our second place driver, Robert Peter Hoof.
So Rob Huff gets another garland at Macau and another bit of silverware as well, with hearty congratulations and a wave to the crowd.
Mr. Poon Wen Kuhn, President of the Sports Bureau and Coordinator of the Macau Grand Prix Organizing Committee, to present the trophy to our winner, number 19, Zhang Jiqiang. Congratulations. Let's get closer to the middle for a group photo.
So an opportunity to get a photograph of all three of them with their trophies and their garlands, and the trophy presenters as well.
Job well done.
And there's more touring car action to come, of course, because that just warms you up for the gear race, which we will come to shortly. And then there's also, of course, the GT race for the Galaxy Entertainment GT Cup before the Sands China Formula 4 Macau Grand Prix. So 3 races still to look forward to. More touring cars, more GT cars, and the sole single-seater action.
So champagne is coming out, so they climb back onto the podium. Huffy means business. It takes off the garland to enjoy the opportunity to spray champagne, and that's one race that Huffy did win. And pretty expert at spraying the champagne over the years.
Gives the bottle a whack just to facilitate the fizz. And now Zhang Jiang gets his own back.
That's the victory shower.
I'm rather hoping they're chink bottles. That's the first time they've got to come together, I think. And they hold the bottles up, and a well-deserved drink as well. And I'm rather hoping that we might hear from them in the post-race press conference. We can't be sure. We've got a rather compacted programme today due to the fact that we had the addition of the Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix right at the start of the day. But we have 3 races to look forward to on Grand Prix Day here at Macau. The next, we stay with touring cars. It's the Win Macau Gear Race.